Hi there. Welcome back to the Curious Cat Kitchen. I'm Kat for those of you that are new here, and today I'm going to show you how to make a potato waffle. Um, to be exact, as a potato waffle sandwich, but you can eat it just as a potato waffle by itself. I like it with chimichurri, or you can have it with ketchup, whatever sauce you like. But I've decided after I made the recipe to make it into a sandwich. I honestly don't even know how I came up with this recipe. Um, I think I was just trying to come up with a new appetizer for my event, the Social High Experience. And I was like, I must have seen something that inspired me, but I was like, oh, I can make it into a waffle. Because we had a trend, I think, that like everything was being made into a waffle. So I was like, potatoes in the waffle. So that's how I kind of came up with and it turned out to be absolutely delicious. So we loved it. My youngest especially loves it because she loves everything potatoes. So I already saved you the hassle of watching me peel potatoes and cutting it up because everybody knows how to peel potatoes and cut it up. And I went ahead and boiled it in just boiling potatoes like you're making mashed potatoes. I boiled it with some cloves of garlic to make it a little bit garlicky. And then I took it out and mashed it up. And I actually am coming to you today, au natural. I actually had debated back and forth, because there are days that I just am home looking like a bum, and I come up with a great idea of a recipe, and I'm like, "Ooh, I should film it." But then I start thinking, "Oh, but then I gotta, change and put myself together and put makeup on if I didn't have lashes, and to make myself look presentable because being shown on YouTube and people are seeing me. Not that there's a lot of people seeing me, but still, it's out there." And I was like, do I would have to I want to look my best because you're presenting yourself. Whenever you present yourself, you want to somewhat look your best. And this is not to say, and I do say that, like, this is not to say that, I don't think I look good or that I think anything less of myself. Although I used to, when I was younger, I wouldn't even go, like, this was when I lived in Toronto, and I lived in a condo above a convenience store, but above stores, because I was downtown, and I wouldn't even go downstairs to the convenience store for like 5 minutes just to pick up some stuff without putting makeup on first. Like, it was crazy. I would be like, oh, I gotta put makeup on, just to go to. And makeup for me was always just eyeliner and mascara. It wasn't like the whole shebang of foundation or anything like that. But still, like, it was still having to make myself up before I went downstairs to the store. And over the years, I, got more comfortable with myself, and I was like, okay, you know what, I can go about my daily routine without putting makeup on. I'll put makeup on when, I'm going out somewhere. Um, and that took a lot of self love, and really looking at myself and be like, who cares? You get that. But I would say a lot of women, if correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of women suffer with self image, because whether it's society, whether it's magazines, we're always told what is beautiful, and we also can see what is beautiful. Like, I have friends that are beautiful without having to put makeup on, and I never thought I was one of those people. Like, I always thought for me to look good, I have to have makeup on, and obviously something that I had to work through, but it was a thought that I had. I think self image is something that many women tend to struggle with, because of societal expectations or images that is put out there because of fashion, of what is considered beauty and what isn't. And then if you don't fit this, there's all these different things, right? And if you ask a guy, guys would be like, I don't know what the issue is. You look fine. So it's literally just us women, girls, that have this thought of what beauty is in our heads that is conditioned into us. Um, and especially having girls, I don't want them to have that self consciousness, that insecurity that I had, because I think both my girls are gorgeous without makeup on. And when they put makeup on, I'm like, you don't even need that. But at the same time, I find also you have to lead by example. If I put makeup on and I think I need makeup, then they're like, well, if you wear makeup, if you need makeup, then what's wrong with it? So I have worked on it over the years, obviously, to be more comfortable in my natural self, to say that yes, I'm confident and I'm beautiful as my natural self, and I don't need makeup, so that it can give them that example as well, to again be comfortable in your own skin, to be comfortable as your natural self without having to put all those things on, and really truly believing that, finding that, because you can put on a facade, be like, yeah, I'm good with, not having this and showing myself like this. But to really feel it and believe it inside, I think it's so important. And I am still working on it, which I think doing this, filming without makeup, is a big step for me to say that, okay, you know what, I'm going to do it because it doesn't, like, nobody's watching me for how I look anyways. They're watching for the recipes and, for whatever else, but nobody cares about how I look. So, except for me. So it's all in my head. Um, but yeah, so that's why I am coming au natural. But I wanted to share that story, like I said, because I believe that there are many women out there that do suffer with self-image, and do suffer with, how we look and how we portray ourselves. And I think it's important to really feel in our own skin, the confidence in who we are, how we look, regardless of what society norms are.
So here we have the boiled potatoes, and we're going to go ahead and add potato starch to it, as well as some nutritional yeast and some cheese, only because I don't usually add it. You don't have to add it, but I just had it, so I figured I'd just add some in for a little bit more flavor. And some butter. I do use Miyoko's. I think it's the best one out there as far as ingredient wise. So for those of you that are local to South Florida, I do have a Friday menu that I do every week. It's usually 2 dishes and 1 dessert. So today is this potato waffle sandwich that I'm making is part of the menu. And so hence you see all the pots in the background. But on Fridays is my cooking day, full day of cooking. And I usually will listen to music, podcasts, or, if I have a book that I'm reading, I will listen to it on Audible. But more often than not, I am listening to my Diary of the CEO podcast. I absolutely love that podcast. It's one of my favorite ever since I started listening to it. I've been hooked, and really there's so many coming out, and they're fairly long, so I'll either get 1 or 2 in when I'm cooking on Fridays. So I just added my basic seasonings of salt, pepper, and some garlic powder. And now we're just gonna take our masher and mash it all together. Get an arm workout in.
So today when I was cooking, I was listening to, it was a continuation of a podcast that I had started the other night, I think yesterday, because it caught my eye, and it was the AI debate. And it was very, very interesting. Had a lot of interesting points, learned a lot. Like I said, I love the Diary of the CEO because out of all the podcasts that I've listened to, one, because he covers every topic that you can think of. He does relationships, AI, he does government stuff like politics and, financial, businesses, every topic that affects human life, basically. And also, not only that he covers every topic, because a lot of guests, like, when you start listening to podcasts, they s- mm, they start having like the same guests on and talk to the same guests, that are popular, that are big or whatever. But it's like I've listened to guests that other podcasts had on, and then I've listened to them, the same guests on his podcast, and I just find it is a lot more interesting, and I like it more because of his line, like because of the way he questions. He does his line of questioning. He asks some really, really good questions that I think most people might be wondering as they're, talking. So his line of questioning is really, really good. Like he gets people really talking and getting deep with it. So that's one of the reasons why I like him. But anyways, today's podcast that I was listening to was, so I've mashed it up. So it's kind of like mashed potatoes. It's just that the potato starch allows it to bind a little bit more. Just gives it a binding agent. And also when potato already crisps up, but adding the potato starch makes it crispier as well. So the episode that I listened to today was on AI, the future of AI. And as always, I learn a lot of stuff, but it also gets you thinking. Um, it gets you thinking on a lot of the topics that, they talk about. And this is something like he's had a few guests on there talking about AI, their predictions, what they think, I guess, because that's something that he's really interested in. So I'm just putting them into, I have the waffle iron already warming up, so it's ready. And then I'm just taking the mashed up potatoes, forming them into somewhat equal size, as equals as you can get that size, so that you can put them into the waffle iron. So get them as equal size as possible. There's so many apps, there's so many developments, new developments of AI apps and things out there of what it can do. Like listening to this AI podcast today, there is a new app that they came up with called Replit. And this app actually helps you design apps or website just by talking to it. And it's also, I won't give too much, just listen to the episode if you're interested, but how there's AI agents that basically it's like what you would think an agent. It's someone that you give commands to, and they carry out your command. Okay, so my waffle iron is ready. I'm just gonna spray it with a little bit of spray so that it doesn't get so it gives it a nice crisp. It doesn't dry it out. Go ahead and place my ball in there, and so yeah, it has AI agent that you can give it commands, and it carries out your command. Like on the podcast, on the episode, he told the AI agent, to order waters for all the guests, and it sends out the command and whatever, and this guy showed up with waters. Great. Like I think there is a lot of things that are very helpful, especially for entrepreneurs. Like myself, if you're trying to start something, you don't have the capital to hire a bunch of people to do something. AI can act as your marketing director, your advertising, like help you with those things. Your accountant help you with those things that you may not have the funds to hire someone to do, and now you have the ability to get AI to do it. I think that is absolutely mind blowing and fantastic that it's able to do it. But just like one of the guys on there, the concern that he expressed is that it's moving so fast, and because it's not something that is a part of our history. So there's no data to go by as to how to control it, what will happen, what may happen. It's all just predictions because we don't know. We've never dealt with robots before, not to this extent, not to the technology that is available. Um, and it's scary. Like if the debate is like 2.5 hours long, there's very very good points, and there's very good points on both sides as far as how helpful it is. But because it is so helpful, there's also tons of jobs at risk of getting eliminated. And they were talking about, mass elimination of jobs. Then what is going to happen to the population? Most people are not going to be working because bots are taking over our jobs. Then what is going to happen to people as far as what they will do, um, their day to day, but also their psyche, because everybody needs purpose. It's very very interesting. I suggest you go look it up and go watch it. But it's I was like, I was watching it. I'm like, if this agent, my thought was, if this agent can carry out commands, and will find every which way to carry out the command until it has completed its task. Like, and we all know that people are good and evil. It's within all of us. It just takes a very small trigger to set something off. Don't know what it's going to set off, but what is it? How is it going to stop someone that, let's say, wants to sabotage um, another person or another company, or worse yet, wants to get rid of someone else? Like, what is it to say that in the future, when AI is not just on your phone, but an actual bot that you can command and that helps you do all these things, an actual robot? And we've seen movies come out. I've watched movies that has come out that shows these robots that does everything, and then they go crazy, right? Like they start they start having, because they're learning what we are. That's how robots work. Like you have to teach it a command, but after they were talking about, it can adapt. So it might learn human emotions. It might learn this. It might learn that, and it might start learning things that we may not have taught it, but it picked up because it is so smart. Who's to say that you can't hire it or get it to go commit murder and not have it tied back to you? Like it's so crazy the possibilities, like, and the possibilities on both ends. The possibilities of it being an amazing tool that can help a bunch of people, but then also such a destructive and scary tool that can be used for scary things. So we'd love to hear what your thoughts are on the future of AI. Are you a fan of it? Are you a fan, but also, a little apprehensive about it, like I am, because I think I'm going to go look at this app. It's called Replit. So I'm definitely going to go look at this app to see what it can do. But because I believe as an entrepreneur, it is very helpful. But the future of it is still very scary of the possibilities of what it can do. So, the sandwich that I put together consists of pickled cabbage and carrots, and I showed you how I do quick pickling. I used apple cider this time. I showed you how to do quick pickling in another video that I did the tofu sandwich, the sushi sandwich. But I did with cabbage and carrots this time, and I used apple cider vinegar. And then I did a mushroom mix, which is a mix of king trumpet mushrooms and oyster mushrooms. There is a short video on my um, IG page that shows you how to make my favorite way of making mushrooms. All you have to do is pull it apart, season it, spray some oil on it, throw it in the air fryer. It takes in so much flavor, but it's so quick. And that's one of my favorite ways of making oyster mushrooms, or like specialty mushrooms, that is just so simple and so flavorful. So I did some of that, and I'm going to sandwich that in it. I also made um, homemade chimichurri, which I will have a short for that as well that I will show you. Ta-da! Look how beautiful that is. Oh, it is truly beautiful and delicious. We love it. And you can make more of it, freeze it. When you're ready to eat it, just pop it back on the waffle iron to warm it up. Enjoy. The pickled cabbage and carrots. The air fried mushroom mix. And another waffle on top. There you have potato waffle sandwich.
Comments below if you try this or any other potato waffle creations you may come up with. Once again, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any other episodes. Till next time, stay curious.